Daily right here on the Muskegon Channel. I'm Andy O'Reilly. Dave Cackley's over yonder. I gave you an assignment a while back, and I'm going to follow up and see where
Yeah, I
you're
didn't
at
do it.
on
Whatever
said
it was,
assignment.
I didn't do it.
Of course not. Why would
What
you?
was it? Because I don't remember
Netflix show.
which one.
Kunk on Earth.
What is it?
Kunk on Earth.
I don't even remember that at all. Kunk on Earth feels like I should.
You need to see it.
Such a different. What's it about?
Okay, so it's this actress. Her name is Diane. I got to think of it. Anyway, it's a BBC produced show, and this actress named Diane something or other plays this reporter named Philomena Kunk, and she gets access to some of the world's brightest minds.
Okay.
And she sits down with them and does a world history recap in about 5 episodes, from the beginning of Earth, written history all the way up till now. And she puts these people back on their heels like you have never seen before in your life. And it is so freaking funny and so dry. And she is so dead serious with these people, trying to get answers out of them over the most absurd questions. It's hysterically funny. I laughed out loud.
But it's just deadpan. She's just doing it like so it's
deadpan.
It's kind of mocking. It's just deadpan humor.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that stuff.
You got to watch it. Kunk on Earth. She's hysterical.
I don't know that you told me about Kunk on Earth. It feels like something I would have.
Well, nobody listens to me.
Recalled.
I can say anything to anyone, and it goes in one ear and out the freaking other instantly. Nobody pays any attention to me. Seriously, drives me nuts. It's like I speak to no one all day long.
Yeah, I think everybody is kind of guilty of that from time to time. Like, you think you heard something and you didn't really fully hear, or maybe you weren't paying close enough attention. Like when I missed the question yesterday, I just wasn't paying close enough attention. I thought I was, because you can think you're dialed into something.
Right.
You can think. And then there's also, you have this kind of built-in, you think you know what the other person is going to say, or you think you know what the other person means. Because I've said this, I feel like I am misjudged and mischaracterized and not fully listened to all the time.
Me too.
I feel similar. I feel similar.
But there's a difference between, okay, so let's compartmentalize a couple of these things.
Okay.
There's a difference between this, because we step on each other and walk all over each other on purpose, right?
Right.
But when you're trying to communicate with somebody else outside of this setting,
yes,
dude, between people that listen halfway, or people that immediately need to contradict every goddamn thing you say, no matter what it is. You can look outside and go, the sky's blue. Well, it's kind of blue, but
yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah. Thank you for your kind of blue opinion. All right. Hey, look at that grass. It's green. Yeah, but, there's also some parts there where there's flowers. Really?
Yeah.
Hey, look, the driveway's dirt. Yeah, but, oh my God. Every time somebody does that, I just want to get hit in the head with a Louisville Slugger. Are you kidding me? Hey, look, that lake's water. Yeah, but underneath the water is seaweed. When does this end in our society today?
I don't think it ever will, and I think it will probably get worse before it gets better. I don't know that it ever will get better. And I'm a cockeyed optimist for the most part, even with everything that goes on.
Have you ever met anybody more optimistic than me?
I think you're fairly optimistic. I think it depends on the.
Granted, I feel like I've had my head held into a barrel for a while because of this optimism stuff. It's getting a little bit of a rope to pull. Being Mr. Positive and Mr. Optimistic, and let's push through and all that stuff. It's a struggle. But I have me to be, right? And I am genuinely an up with people, good person. But the nuance to here's $20 from my gas. Yeah, well, it's only $15. Stop with the instant arguing over everything. Who does this? I mean, why?
Some people
do you
enjoy
notice it with
conflict.
conversations with other
Oh
people?
yeah, yes, 100%. Well, you're just saying this because this, or I'm like, no, you didn't hear everything I just said.
Right.
I said this, but I also said this.
Right.
Okay, so I'm taking it in, and I probably take a little more of it just because I there's a big part of me that enjoys seeing two sides of everything and understanding it and not fully committing one way or the other in a lot of ways.
I will say this of you. Your tone and your inflection often leads people to think that you're of one opinion.
Fair. That's fair.
That's the way that's
fair. I like tone is, and I don't know, because it's one of those things where I don't necessarily hear it the way it's like. I know what I am saying, but I don't know how it's necessarily always received by another person, because, and part of it is because I take things less personally than most people take things.
Yeah, but
like if somebody comes at me with something,
but see what I mean? The instant argument sucks, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
well,
it's an awful thing to deal with. And literally, whack me upside the head with a bat. So instead of an instant argument or the remarkably quick, I have the counterpoint. Just hit me in the head with a bat from now on. I'm going to give everyone I know a bat. Hey, look, it's sunny today. I have a counterpoint. Bam. Perfect. Put me out of it. Good. Anyway, back to Philomena Kunk. Okay. I'm giving you an assignment again to go watch Netflix and watch Kunk on Earth. You will laugh your ass off. It is okay. Some of these people don't even know how, they can't even process the questions. They're so stupid. You know, it's hysterical. You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll be inspired. All right.
Mental note made.
You gonna do some news?
Yeah, let's get into it. Chinese hackers are preparing to cause, quote, real world harm to Americans. This is according to FBI Director Christopher Wray. Wray's remarks will be submitted to Congress as his official testimony later today. Targets could include water treatment plants, the electrical grid, oil and natural gas pipelines, as well as our transportation system. Always got to keep an eye on China. It's a, we're all, look at that. Look at, God, that and a big glass of milk sounds really good right now. And then I'd take a nice long, now you don't do coffee with a brownie.
There you go.
You're eating a brownie wrong. You don't know. God, it's got to be milk with a brownie.
Hey, here's something I heard about this morning.
What's that?
AI is getting its own viruses. And they're shooting viruses into AI, which is going to cripple it. And so it's another new layer of things you got to watch out for. So if you're using AI for anything, just know that there are new specialty viruses infecting AI that could hit you. Good luck.
It's interesting you bring that up, because I was watching. You interviewed Jamie Kennedy not too long ago, didn't you? Comedian, actor. He was in Muskegon a while back. Like, maybe it was longer ago than I thought.
A couple of years at least.
Oh, it was a couple. Anyway, he's got his own podcast. He had fellow. Yeah, you did. You had fellow. He had fellow comic Brian Callen on, and they were talking about AI. And Brian Callen was talking about some of the jobs. One of them, a graphic design. How the great things graphic design artists could become obsolete. But he was talking about just a basic contract that he had Chat GPT write up for him.
Yeah.
He's like, and he did it, and it was like, boom. And I would have had to pay a lawyer maybe $2,000 to do that.
Oh, yeah.
And I had it done for me for nothing. So it's just another one. It's just going so fast, and it's just starting. And you mentioned that, I mean, there are always going to be glitches, as with any technology. And maybe more of those glitches could help put it off for a while. The more kind of viruses those things can get, maybe that's kind of staves it off, because you're not going to stop it. You're going to delay it. You're going to delay it. You're not going to stop it, because you've already invented this.
Let me share a letter with you I got from a friend named Esther Dyson.
Okay.
who is she's not the average person that we know around West Michigan. She's a little bit more of a deep thinker. She's a trained cosmonaut. She's never flown. She is an angel investor. She works on all kinds of programs around the country to help with different things and all that kind of stuff. And she wrote a thing about AI. And it says, humanity's waking up to the challenges and opportunity of artificial intelligence, but we don't understand our role. People talk about the unexplainable AI when they should be concerned about the unexplainable humans running the companies that develop AI. On and on. So the first step is to understand the fundamental difference between humans and AIs. We are analog chemical beings with emotions and feelings compared to machines. We think slowly and we act too fast, failing to consider the long-term consequences of our behavior. All right, I'll leave it at that there in the introduction. We should automate routine tasks, and use the money and time saved to allow humans to do more meaningful work, especially helping parents raise healthier, more engaged children. So what she's saying here is that this AI can do basic crap, but the money needs to go back into parenting and raising people. So we're going to look at a dramatic shift if this all implements. And when I talked to her about your specific idea, because I drove her to the airport last week, when I talked to her about your specific idea of the universal basic income, got thrown right out the window. It just won't work. Because it's the companies and the humans that need to realize the importance of taking care of their people first. It can't be mandated by the government. It can't be a government-run program. It can't be a handout. This has to be a populace-based idea that, okay, so we're going to use AI for this, this, and this. How do we reinvest in people to make them more quality humans? And I think that's the long-term argument that needs to be brought up. She's smart. And
I'm not denying that would be the better way to go.
I know you're not, but I'm just giving you that as some thought to, meta trainers. They train and teach formal curriculum as they're paid to do. They train police, teachers, managers, coaches, healthcare workers, especially mental health, doulas, religious leaders, and counselors. This is where academies and institutions can create scale. Frontline trainers, mostly paid to do something other than training, but they're also de facto training to behave, think, and be human. Nice. Yeah. Trainees, children's, lovers, friends, neighbors, customers, interacting in clubs and mingling at parties. That's where they can learn informal, teach others, friends, colleagues, and support you where you come from support. In the long run, everyone should become a frontline trainer of the next generation in their own families. Many should be employed as trainers and meta teachers, friends, family, colleagues would support you and who you come from years to support. So there's an awful lot to think about.
I agree with, I agree with all of that 100%. In fact, I will even throw an argument against my own idea, which is not my idea. This has been this is the idea of UBI is an old idea, and people have thought, like, at some point it's going to have to come to this. Right. You're like, ideally, what AI would do is free us up to do other things. Ideally. Hopefully that is. And to go against we actually kind of flirted a little bit with universal basic income over the pandemic. And that didn't do so well. You had people getting thrown money left and right, not working. But yes, 100%.
I've argued that even for welfare.
Yeah, 100%. I've said that's the problem with the welfare system in general, is the fact that you can't work and be on you lose. There's got to be a balance between the two where it just covers some basic stuff, but you still have to work. It's not going to be enough for you to live on. Again, it would have to be, when I talk about universal basic income, I talk about it as a supplement to what you're already doing. Right. That's all I was saying, because I don't believe it. As much as I would love the idea of reinvesting in people and doing it, that's not what corporations and these companies are going to do, unfortunately. Maybe I'm wrong. And maybe, again, maybe the good aspect or the good potential aspect of AI could end up being the case. I'm hopeful that that could be the case. I just, based on how we react to things, I don't know. I don't have a lot of faith in that. Hopefully I'm proven wrong.
I think the factor is
Hopefully.
when the corporations will realize that nobody's got any money and they can't buy the crap that they're selling. That's the corporation's fault. So
yeah, it is. I mean, that's
so be smarter, right?
But
Pay people.
our invention. Well, see, that's not gonna because they're gonna be competing against. You'd have to get all of them to think that way, and they're not gonna think that way.
Okay.
That's the issue. I don't know. I don't know where this ends.
Okay.
I don't know where this ends, and I don't have a lot of faith in corporations. I don't have a lot of faith in groups of people in general. I have a lot of faith in individuals and the potential of individuals, but I don't have a lot of faith in groupthink. I don't have a lot of faith in I don't know.
You know who's got faith?
I hate to sound pessimistic. I have faith. I have faith in God. That's it.
You know who's got faith?
Everything else falls under that. George Michael.
Faith. Yes, he does. Faith.
There you go. I knew that's where this was going. Okay, moving on. Local Lidls. I invented a new word because they're Lidls. They're not leaders. They're Lidls. Local leaders in Portland, Oregon, have declared a state of emergency due to fentanyl abuse. The governor, mayor, and county administrators made the declaration earlier this week. The three governments are directing their agencies to work with first responders and connecting addicts with treatment facilities to crack down on drug sales. At over 112,000 Americans died from overdoses in 2023. A lot of those, the majority of those, were fentanyl related, or either accidental or intentional. And man, all this stuff's out of control.
Terrible. And to poison people that are addicted to drugs and things like that, that calls for an emergency. Let's get into that.
Yeah.
And I was reading last night. I was, believe it or not, I was in the throne room, and I opened a book instead of the phone. Right.
Look at you.
Even still, with a list
with pages and everything. A lot of pages. Were there pages?
Yeah.
Wow.
Even still, with illicit drugs, prescription drugs are abused by 140 million Americans.
Mm-hmm.
And that's double or triple the illicit drug users in the entire country.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not going away. The fentanyl stuff is, don't do street drugs.
That's the next.
But you're gonna. And let's get the idea around the idea that the street drug users are pretty sick. And what's driven
there's
them
no
to
question.
That point?
Hopelessness, lack of meaning.
Truth.
That is 100% it.
I get it.
All right. Finally, Sparty beats down Michigan in men's college hoops Tuesday night. MSU outscored the Wolverines by 21 in the second half to win going away 81-62. Michigan State improves 13-8.
You know why I cheer that on? I actually cheered. Why? I was excited. I'll tell you exactly why. You might not know this, but Izzo and I, good friends. You know why? You know how close we are? It was Izzo's birthday yesterday.
Yes, it was.
See that? Bet you didn't know I knew that.
Look at you. I did not know you knew that.
I sent him a cake. It happened to have a dancer in it that jumped out. That was there,
of course,
ready for after the game. She was fully clothed because we're dealing with,
of course, because he's a married man.
We can't be doing anything naughty. But she looked wonderful in her gown. It was taken from the Vanna White collection.
Very tasteful and elegant.
For Izzo's birthday, we really did.
As you should. As the dean of Big Ten coaches. And Michigan State improves to 13-8, while basement-dwelling Michigan drops to 7-14. That's 700 wins for Izzo. And Michigan State hopefully rights the ship a little bit and gets ready for March Madness here in a few weeks. Red Wings take on Ottawa tonight. Pistons still riding the crest of that one-game winning streak there at Cleveland. And good news for the Detroit Lions. Ben Johnson, offensive coordinator, coming back. This guy had opportunities to coach for Washington, also Seattle. Both teams wanted him. head coaching job, 37 years old, says, no, I like working for Dan Campbell.
Isn't
I'm going to
that
come back. That's amazing.
Group
so
hug. Bring it in.
Lions
Come on.
turning into that
Get in here.
playoff debacle.
Get over here. Group hug. We're going to do it. Get in here.
You and the Lion fans can do that. That's sports.
All right. You ready for some Jeopardy?
Let's get into it.
Oh, it leaves me one question about sports.
Go ahead.
Where did Bend Over go?
Ben, nice to meet you. Victor Hugo. You didn't get that because you never saw Fletch.
Yes, I got that one. Where do you think the Bend
You
Over
did?
joke came from?
Mm,
That's grand. 1,000.
let's do it.
You ready? This one's a good one for you, Otis.
What's the category?
Seriously?
Yeah, I
How
seriously
did we
didn't
open
hear
the
it.
show
Again,
talking about what?
exactly about
Exactly.
and I
All
didn't
right,
hear
perfect. Way to go. Way to hold
Category.
that line.
it. See, it's hard. See how hard it is to listen, to really pay close attention, or to
That's
think you're paying
brand.
attention. Back brand or fast brand?
Holy cow.
I didn't hear it.
That's
That's
Brand.
brand. That's
Brand.
grand. I thought you
with
said
a
brand.
G.
Grand. Okay, that's
Do we
grand.
need to
Gotcha.
Do we need to get a hearing aid sponsor on here for you?
You know what? I might need one. I'm not.
Holy cow.
I got a brother who has one now.
Dating from 1880, this renowned liqueur is made from fine cognac and the essence of bitter oranges. I knew this one. 48,600 in the hole.
Oh,
Soon to be
God.
49,600 in the hole.
This is worth 1,000.
1,000.
I keep thinking Mad Dog 2020. It can't be Mad Dog 2020.
In 1880?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
this
And Mad Dog
liqueur.
2020 is not exactly a liqueur. It's more of a wine.
Hmm.
You don't know your spirits, do you?
I really don't. Is it
Remember the category.
Kentucky bourbon?
Kentucky bourbon fits right in with the category of that's grand.
I don't know.
Grand Marnier.
Grand Marnier. Oh, I would have had no. See, that sounds made up to me. See, you were a better drunk back in your days of drinking than I am as a moderate whiskey totaler now.
Well, let's improve that. Let's get you out and
I'll
get you
try.
drinking right after you get done here.
Yeah, maybe get a little crown on the rocks.
Yeah. Great way to spend the afternoon. I recommend
work
it.
on that ulcer and cirrhosis. All right.
We'll see you back here tomorrow.
See ya.
Happy Wednesday, Muskegon. We have a quiet stretch of weather ahead of us, so let's take a look at your forecast, brought to you by Trinity Health. Your weather headlines show we will be pretty much dry and sunny at times over the next week, with temperatures mostly in the 40s, so it definitely won't feel like late January into early February. Temperature-wise today, most areas will be on either side of 40, a little bit cooler toward the lake as water temperatures are definitely colder now this time of year. A little bit warmer toward Ravenna and Holton, they'll be at 41. So for Wednesday, expect a high around 40 with mostly cloudy skies today. We'll have a little bit of sunshine here and there, but clouds will generally rule the day. And then overnight, partly cloudy skies will develop with a low of 36. And the next 7 days look pretty quiet and uneventful, especially for this time of year, with temperatures mostly in the 40s, low to mid 40s. This weekend looks pretty nice as well with partly cloudy skies, and that trend will continue into early next week. And that's your Wednesday forecast, brought to you by Trinity Health on the Muskegon Channel and Lancome Woods Weather, and have a great day today.